Hi everybody and welcome. I'm Caroline Best of the Tao of Horsemanship, and this is my girl Sundance. She's 19. Today we're going to be talking about getting your horse in a frame, what that means and how it should look and how to do it. And of course, if you're following my method, it's going to be a holistic approach and it's going to be a natural process. So we'll talk about that. That's definitely an area that I get a lot of questions about with my students from all over the world, whether you're a YouTube follower, subscriber, Facebook, or you've worked with me personally or on one of my online courses. Getting a horse into a frame is one of those conundrums. You know, everybody that's a horse trainer or an instructor has their own approach to it. I just want you guys to know that I follow the great masters, and specifically classical dressage. And even though I've never trained personally, he's no longer alive, with Nuno Oliveira or Tom Dorrance, I'm going to use those two names specifically because I've read the books and I've watched whatever interviews. I've also worked with some of the apprentices from Nuno and Tom Dorrance. And so I am always an ardent student of the horse more than anything. So my work is based on my study and my readings, as well as my own research and exploration as a student of the horse. So I'm bringing you those three areas, as far as the two masters predominantly, and then the horse being the number one teacher for me in my own quest to find a more natural and definitely holistic approach to training and being and working with horses. And especially, I love dressage. I love the complexity of it. I love the nuances. I love the minutia. I love the biomechanics. I love the fluidity, the ability to be harmonious with your horse in movement. Not to mention in mind, body, and soul, of course, with my work, but to be harmonious and to make sure that as we develop our horses, that we can sustain and maintain their soundness and longevity throughout their years. All right, well, come on, my dear. Come with me as we make our way out. My friend. Come, Beba. So yeah, when we get to this level in our relationship and in our training, me and Sundance, this is the way I want it to be. This is the truth of everything. So let's say I open up the gate and she takes off. Well, there you go. That's the truth of everything. And it gives me a good baseline of information or feedback as to what I need to do or should do or could do differently. Maybe I should have been paying more attention. Everybody wants a quick fix. Everybody wants a quick tip. Horse training is not that simple. It's not that easy. And it's frustrating for me as a professional because everybody hangs their hat, so to speak, and says, oh, I'm a horse trainer because I trained my one horse. And look at what we can achieve. No, you're not a horse trainer just because you are successful with one horse. Sorry. There's a lot more to it. That is one of the biggest problems facing us in the States, and I bring this up in many of my different videos because I've been abroad. I've taught over in Europe. I have a lot of European students, and of course I've studied one of the greatest masters of all time from Europe. And there are no quick fixes, you guys. It's like raising children. It takes time. And depending on the age and the maturity level and your horse's experiences, there's so many factors to consider when developing your horse. And it should take time, especially when they're younger, because if you rush them too quickly, you mess them up mentally, but you mess them up physically. Look at all the videos out there, or maybe you've experienced your own lessons with your instructor who is telling you to apply more contact to your horse's face or contact to their mouth to get them into a frame. And the frame doesn't happen in the front end. It doesn't happen in the face. It doesn't happen in the mouth. It doesn't happen by the bend of the neck. The frame happens from the hind end, and the frame happens when the horse's top line is relaxed and open, and they have the ability to stretch and come underneath of themselves. Then they relax into the movement, and with that relaxation comes a naturally low headset. She has a strong, solid foundation. So what that means when you develop a strong, solid foundation in your horse is you don't have to train them every day. You don't have to school them every day. You don't have to remind them every day how to be with you, how to walk with you, how to work with you. It's there. It's no different than when you look at a human, a person who went to ballet school or was a dancer from a young child, maybe until college. They have a certain way of carrying themselves like I am all the time. They'll never forget that muscle memory is so strong in them. They'll never forget that. And so everything they do for the most part throughout their everyday interactions without working out is with balance. So Sundance is pretty balanced. She's a symmetrical horse, which means balanced on both sides. Most of our horses are asymmetrical. They're not balanced. From bad training, people not understanding biomechanics, and in my work, we develop and fix everything on the ground. Everybody's so quick to learn the technique and make it happen or fix it. But you've got to become a student of the horse. You've got to learn how the horse moves and what is correct movement so that you know when it's not correct, so that you're able to fix it. Because like us, we all have a stronger and weaker side. In the beginning, your horses most likely will not stretch like this. This takes time. It's a mental state of relaxation and physical. I want a big walk though. So a horse can't drop their nose and come into this nice relaxed frame, you guys, if their hind end isn't strong and balanced. So this doesn't happen right away. And you might only get a few strides before your horse picks up a trot or raises their neck. Good girl, I've never had a lame horse. And all the horses I've trained and rehabilitated, never had a lame horse, you guys. I never created that. There you go. Beautiful. That's a natural frame. What a beautiful lope. So if I know that I've developed my horse, this balance and strength in that movement before I ride that movement, then it's easier for me as a rider, trainer, instructor, rider, maybe if I'm just riding my own horse, it's easier for me to diagnose when something isn't going right. But so often the saddles don't fit right, and they don't allow the horse to relax that frame, that top line, the whole frame. They don't allow the horse to relax. Pinching the horse, restricting the movement, so you'll get that hollowed out. And then the rider's taught by the instructor who's not paying attention, they're not educated. I'll show you what I do to help her relax her frame again and push her into that so she's in self-carriage. I don't want to be holding her there. I'm just going to show you a couple of techniques to help her rebalance herself. And then I'm going to push the movement and leave her alone. Because I want to teach my horse how to maintain that themselves. So your riding is your test. If your horse falls out of their frame while you're riding and becomes imbalanced, and you're constantly, they are constantly hollowing out, or they're not in rhythm or in tempo, then you've got to go back to your groundwork. And that's where it should be, because it's easier for the horse, and it trains you, and it's easier for the horse. What's best for the horse? I'm going to ask for permission over here to get on. So as you guys can see, she's with me. You want me to get on there? So just keep her straight. Straightness is key. Going deep in your pockets is key. Deep in your corners. Hi, pretty girl. She's nice and relaxed, got a soft eye. She keeps checking in with me, which is part of our relationship. I love that. I love it. Doesn't get much better than that. You go and get that whip, bite it. She's playful. So she's a happy horse. Oh my gosh, you guys, the mental is so important. If your horse loves you and enjoys this with you, then she's gonna be relaxed. That's number one. Relationship is number one. It's the motivator. It's the foundation of everything possible with horses. Don't let anybody tell you anything otherwise. Relationship is more than 75% of your success in training, because you have a horse that's open and trusting. Don't let anyone tell you any different. Now I'm going to ask for that trot. Good girl. So I've got the 2 beat in my body. 1, 2. Yep, relax. There you go. Changes the movement completely. Good girl. So now we're going to, from a walk, pick up our canter. Ask her to rebalance. Sit back. Good. I hope this worked for you and you can learn some valuable tips. They're going to take time, okay? There's no shortcuts here. Nothing good in life is quick. It takes time. And it's beautiful. Enjoy the journey with your horse. Thank you, and may you always be one with your horse.